guys awake? Hey, everybody. We're back. But the first thing you got to tell me is if this sounds shitty or not. I was able to test some things, but not everything. So let me know how it sounds. I've got the new mixer. Memory, not quite. But good morning, everybody. And let me know that we're actually streaming, because we've had that issue with YouTube. So let me know that this is working. The last time we tried this, when we did this with Truth Against the Machine, it said we were live, but we weren't. All right, you guys can hear me. Wonderful. Good morning, Soul, Sidekick, Nick, and Candyman's here with us today. Markus, Metalhead, and Eco Sutra, Luis. Good morning, everybody. That cover card is amazing. A guy named David Horsey, LA Times, and there's a link, the first link in the description of the YouTube event, which is where all of these links are. We give credit to all the content that we use or reference, and that he did this wonderful post about a journalist, actually, and that's just one of this. I love this. It's called The Spirit of 17. I don't think anything embodies what's going on right now more than that. I love that, right? A revolution, a political revolution, a revolution not just in, actually it's becoming a lot more than that, it seems, right? This is much more than politics in the United States. This is about survival of the human species. Rest of the planet will be okay. I mean, we've killed a lot of species, and we're going to destroy a shit ton of environment in the next 10 years. We'll most likely be gone or eliminated to a small group of people, a small, migrant groups of survivors and whatever, and maybe a bunch of rich white folks somewhere. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm not going off on that for any particular reason other than climate news lately, but nothing but bad. And there was more bad, and it's all stacking up to the obvious. But let's talk about. So we got a lot of other stuff. The cover should be gone. I just did a lot of talking at the beginning, Density. Hey, JRGJ. Boy, I don't think I could say that 3 times fast. Paula, how you doing? Melissa H, hey. So thank you to everybody for all of your kind words, everything. All the comments that you said when I did the update on the bad news. Managed to get things here, most things fixed. I still got a problem with the memory, but everything you guys said in encouragement was really, really nice, and I appreciate that. And all of your offers of help and support and everything. And I've been really down the last couple of days because of not just that, just a bunch of stuff. But you guys really made me feel better, and I just want to say thanks. And I forgot to say good morning to Markus. Good morning, Markus. How's Germany doing today?
Good morning, John. Germany is doing fine, and good morning, America. I hope you guys will enjoy the coming weekend.
Yes, I hope so too. It's exciting times going on here. Nebraska was done. Yes. Just reading their comments here. Guys talking about Nebraska. I'm not even paying attention to Spicer anymore. Sidekick Nick. So what's anything new and interesting in what have you guys created today, Markus? Seems like every week there's some new thing that the Germans have done for the environment or for the future or something good. Anything new that you're aware of lately?
Yes, but honestly, I didn't have the time to read the article. And, I got it delivered tomorrow, but there are some climate scientists who have a plan how to get the climate change somehow under control. This is the only information I have now, right? No. I got to read it first, but it sounded interesting, and I will report about it tomorrow.
Good. I'm excited about that. Thank you. And you have a little bit later, you have a letter you're going to read, right, to everybody?
Yes. It is a letter, and it addresses to those who are feeling troubled about the Democrats and how things go on and how we get united. And I will read it out later.
Awesome. Excited about that. Good morning from Northern Ireland, Ice Wafer. Are you a surfer in Northern Ireland? I thought that was insane. I went to Ireland in 2005, 2006, I can't remember now. And we didn't get all the way up north. I don't even remember how far up north we got. We got to Donegal, Galway, and what a beautiful country you guys have. Just absolutely beautiful. And you're doing, even back then, you guys were doing some more environmentally friendly stuff. You got a lot less trees going on, a lot less wood, making things out of concrete, houses out of concrete. I thought that was amazing. But where are you? What part of Ireland are you in, Ice Wafer? I'd love to know. And the reason I mentioned the surfing is that was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. Like, I was there with wife. We were freezing, rain and wind blowing sideways, right? And we're just looking at these people in wetsuits, 7 mil wetsuits, not 3 mil wetsuits, 7 mil wetsuits, the heavy duty fuckers. And they're out there freezing. And I'm watching them coming running up to like, are you having a good time? It's surfing. It's fun. I'm like, you fucking kidding me? That's desperate to surf. That's all I'm going to say. Takes courage, and you got. That was amazing. Anyway, hello. I'm not making fun of you guys. I thought that was pretty obvious. That was pretty awesome. No snakes there. Yeah. What a turd world the United States of fascism is. Good God, Phil Britton. How do you expect anybody to be able to say that? Holy cow, that was crazy. Anyway, morning stock post. Moving on. First things. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, obviously, and the what's going on with the Affordable Care Act and the repeal, and that's hilarious. I don't know if you guys realize how significant that is. Right? Not just okay. So yeah, they're trying to pass. They don't have the support. Like, Republicans are realizing that they're being threatened by Trump. You know, Paul Ryan's trying to get everybody together. Here's what's really bizarre. Paul Ryan's super PAC pulled money from GOP people that were not supporting of the new Health Care Act. At the same time, two groups, both Koch brothers funded, and Scott Galinda's did a article that he just dropped this morning, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. But if you want to go to Reader Supported News and find it, look at that article. He's talking about it. I have something that alludes to it today, but basically the Freedom, who are they? The Freedom for America group or somebody, just some Koch brothers shithole, money fund. And they are both offering a seven-figure fund to GOP people who vote it down, who say no. And here's why. This is. I wasn't going to talk about this right now. I was going to talk about Scott and him needing your help. He needs your help. But right now, we might just bring this up. What's going on with this is that they want a worse bill. They don't think what Ryan has is bad enough. They want more people uninsured. They want worse coverage. So they're offering money to GOP candidates to say, vote it down, and we'll give you our money. Because we want something more horrific. And Ryan and co. is saying, I'm going to take away my money if you don't vote for the version of horrific we have. And Trump's saying he just doesn't give a fuck one way or the other. Basically, that was his last statement. He's like, hey, we'll see. And he smiled. Fucking orange turd. That was his last message. Basically, I don't know if it doesn't, whatever. And yesterday he was threatening everybody. This is the final version. No more negotiations. It's the way it is. The great deal maker, right? The art of the deal. The art of Bullshit Mountain. He's basically what he is the guy who climbed to the top of Bullshit Mountain. That's his story. Right? That's it. But this is, we have one group of we have one group of greedy old white men that wants worse coverage. We have another group of greedy white men that is offering horrific coverage. We have the original coverage, which was shitty to begin with, but working for 24 million more Americans than it was prior. These are our offerings. That's what's going on in healthcare. Meanwhile, the rest of the world has moved on to single payer, Medicare for all these different socialized versions. Markus is raising a finger. What would you like to say?
Yes, I would like to ask something.
Yes.
I just want to know, for those guys who are ultra right-wing, I would describe them like this, and who want to deny nearly everything about healthcare, how can they go back to their states and meet their voters? How do they get away with this?
Well,
This
they
is my
don't.
question.
They don't.
So why are they doing this? Because they are. This is absolutely stupidity, in my opinion.
So this is what's brilliant. They have the people are awake, and now these representatives have a choice. Do we get our ass handed to us by the people or by the corrupt government that we have sworn allegiance to? They're fucked. One way or the other, they're fucked. That's the beauty of it, because even if they're
in a trap.
I'm saying it again. What? They're what?
They are trapped right now because they can choose, and I think the majority will choose not to make their voters angry and maybe speculate how long will Trump exist as president. You know.
Well, yeah, they don't
I think the chances are higher that Trump is gone than making their voters angry. You know, this would be terrible for them. But I still wonder what are they thinking? How do they get away? How do they think they can get away if they're taking away everything about healthcare?
As everybody is saying in chat, they're imploding right now. Right? They don't know what the fuck to do. They're like, shit, we have to take somebody's pile of money, but if we take a pile of money, either way, we're fucked. That's the message. It's so beautiful. It's glorious in its karmic end, I just have to say. I'm sorry that a lot of people are going to die and suffer no matter what the result. But the end result of that will be a lot more people awake and pissed. And the truth of the matter is that not everybody, the vast majority of people in the United States, Republican voters, Democratic voters, independent voters, people who don't vote, they all want a single-payer healthcare system. They're beyond the bullshit. They see that every other fucking country in the world that's moved up has one. And they're not hearing a lot of massive complaints in social media from pissed off Canadians and Germans and Swedes and other people saying, God, my fucking healthcare sucks here. Because it doesn't. It's not perfect. But it certainly is healthcare, which is what we don't have here. And at the same time, our government has great healthcare, kind of like single payer, that we fucking pay for. So there's really no way that they're going to get out of this. They're fucked. We've got them, right? I don't really care what sack of money they take. I just want them to take a sack so that we can sack them in 2018 and 2020. That's where we're headed. Back to this, hello, Ice Wafer, and you say you've gone surfing. A place called Akil Island. Well, you survived, so that's impressive. Just in that alone. I'm gonna say. Oh my goodness. Hey Bernice, I'm wearing your shirt today. Schoolhouse Rock today. Why are Trump supporters campaigning already? Our Daily Show. Guys dropping some interesting content. All right. Moving on. What I really wanted to talk about first was the event we were supposed to do tomorrow, but we're not going to do it tomorrow because Scott Galindez is not feeling well. And so this is just a call out to anybody in Iowa. He needs your help. We've got the solo out there. There's a lot of action happening in Iowa with progressive movement. It's kind of behind enemy lines. And so I don't want to move the solo. There's a lot of events, and Scott's got a lot of connections with groups like Bold Iowa and Progressives of Iowa and the Iowa Caucus and all these different groups because he's been in politics for a long time. He's been an independent journalist covering this shit for a long fucking time. He was one of the founders of Truth Out and then one of the founders of Reader-Supported News. And he's an excellent journalist and an amazing guy, and he's volunteered a lot of time. I need to find somebody who is in better health than Scott, who can help him and get these events broadcast, because that's why we're not doing it today. Scott had to go to hospital. And I know there's got to be people out there in Iowa that can get out there. I need some of you young millennials to go help a Gen Xer. Please. if you can. So I just want to say that it would be really helpful. Or if you can't, reach out. You know, if you guys could reach out on social media and just say, hey, we're looking for somebody who wants to help with independent media for us, that would be really great. I'd appreciate it. What are you guys saying? Luke Mitchell, you live in Iowa. Are you anywhere near Des Moines? That would be the question. That's where most of this is going on. And thank you, Phil, for saying that. Please share links. If you can, please share links. I appreciate that. We're trying to grow the audience here. We will be doing other shows. We've got the Truth Against the Machine, the Millennial Report, again, coming up this Sunday. We've got an interview show, Chad Talks With. It's going to start back up. He's going to be doing 30-minute interviews. We've got, what else do we got going on? There's a lot going on, but not just this show. And I'm hoping the other shows on the other channels and stuff like that will actually grow a better audience than what this is, right? This is for us to just kind of hang and talk about things. Thank you, Kendra. That's nice. Love you, Scott. Iowa City. I don't know where that is. If there's one thing I failed, it was geography, folks. Most definitely. If you're willing to make the trip to help Scott, Iowa City, heck, get in contact with them. We'll bring you into Slack. Send me an email at info@bernie2016.tv, and we'll talk about how you can help, get you involved in our Slack group, and move on from there. Dan Roll. You guys remember Dan Roll? He ran for some place. He ran for office somewhere. We had him on We the People. We just brought him into Slack. We're going to be talking to him soon. He's doing some more things out in his area. We're moving along. We're doing stuff. All right, so we covered Scott. We kind of talked about your kindness and our gratitude. I don't think you guys know how much time I spend after the show thinking about the show and thinking about how grateful I am that I've got this amazing group of volunteers in Slack that continue to do things, and people like Markus in Germany, and Laura Live and Good, and Scott Galindez, and Ashley Terry, and so many people that have been without these people helping me put together the higher aspects of the shows in terms of production, they wouldn't happen. And as much as I complain about not having what I really want, which is a building with people in it and the ground game, and I still don't have that, I have you. And so I just want to say thanks. Thanks for being here. It makes this worthwhile. For me, personally. So, thank you. And that brings us on to some other deep shit, which is from Markus. You want to set this up, Markus? Why did you write this letter?
If I look back in time when we did or you did the real newsroom, or the newsroom, the Burn edition, we had some guys in our audience who are not with us anymore, and I was wondering, and there was some certain person which was all the time here with us in the old show, in this show, and for a few weeks he's not with us anymore, and maybe he's pissed about something we said, or I don't know, and I noticed another video from Truth Against the Machine lately, and there he wrote, and I responded to him. He was complaining about the Democratic Party, and yes, of course he's right. I just answered him. I just replied to him, and I invited him to come back to us, to be with us in the chat, because he's missed, and I told John about it, and he read what I wrote, and I said, okay, I will read it out today, and because it may address to many others who once were with us in the audience and have left for some reasons, and this is a short statement and a short reply to this person.
Awesome.
Maybe John can make it a little bit bigger.
I know, we're gonna look at you while you read it too.
The screen? Then I gotta read it out from my desktop.
Well, yeah, I thought you were gonna do that. I didn't. There's no way you're gonna be able to read it from there. There, I'll just put up the words now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to open it up, my friend.
That's not right. Hello, dear friend. How are you? We are missing you at Awake with John and Markus for a while now. It would be really great to have you back in the show chat. Let us not get divided. It makes no sense as we basically support the same ideas, right? I totally understand why you gave up on the Democratic Party, and you are absolutely correct in your description of the state the party is in. But I still see no other way to get things changed. As long as Bernie doesn't decide to lead a third party, there is no way to defeat the two mainstream parties in an election. 2016 proved it. Despite the two worst candidates ever, no third party profited from it. In my opinion, we have to differentiate between the top of the Democratic Party and the community level. The ground game on the local level is very important to take over step by step. And if you see more and more people realizing this and getting engaged, gives hope. We see now in many places how angry voters stand up against their representatives and demand them to obey their will. This is encouraging, and it has impact. So, if you want to get things done, get up and do it yourself. Sit and be angry and blame the party establishment for being corrupt, bought, etc., etc. But this is like yelling at the clouds because it is raining. It doesn't change anything. Engaging in the local ground game instead may cause changes, and even if they're only locally, but at least it happens at the place where you live, right? What we experienced from the primaries in 2016, nobody would have expected the acting figures in the DNC would change magically after Clinton blew it. No, they are a bunch of greedy and money-hungry you know what, and they will defend their first-class seats with teeth and claws. But with growing activity from the bottom up to the top, they would get under serious pressure. And then there's Bernie. Some say he sold out, but I don't see it. Bernie is still talking about the real issues and did not change at all. He knows he inspired many, many people to get engaged into party politics. Should he abandon them for a new, uncertain project? I don't think so. Some others say about him he only serves as a mascot for the DNC to make them look good. I see it exactly the other way around. In his town halls, he still stands for his values, even in Trumpland like West Virginia. By doing this, he exposes that the DNC has nothing to offer. In fact, it is Bernie who is humiliating the DNC and at once pushing the ground game in order to take over. But we would need to learn to stay patient and focused. This is how I see it, my friend. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but what is certain nowadays? Anyway, it would be great to talk to you again at your show. Thank you.
Awesome, Markus. That was fantastic. Appreciate that.
Thank
you. I think what's amazing about that from an American's perspective is this is somebody from Germany. He's not a member of the Democratic Party either. He's not a member of the voting populace of this country. He cares enough to be on this show 5 days a week and actually spend 7 days a week chatting in Slack so that he can help us. And I think it's very important that we listen to his words and his wisdom coming from a nation that has their shit together. Certainly a lot better than we do right now. So thank you for that perspective, Markus. Appreciate that. And that was addressed to Pat, right? Hey, Pat.
you. Yeah, yes.
We see you come by. Yeah, it was fantastic. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Lynn, for saying that. All right. Where were we at? More heavy shit. More heavy shit. But some of this we're just going to, it's incidental heavy shit. Not even sure what that means. The way I have to go into this is to say, sometimes, even when we're thinking about stuff that's horrible, we forget about other things that are also horrible that are happening at the same time. And that happens when there's a lot of horrible going on. And, yeah, exactly, Lynn. It's a great letter to get out to everyone, not just the group. A letter from a German to Americans, on a perspective. It's exactly right. Here's the headline. Let me just tell you why I'm saying what I say. This is the headline. War correspondents describe recent U.S. airstrikes in Iraq, Syria, and Yemen. And what they describe is that we've gotten rather indiscriminate. We just are blowing the shit out of everything. Trump and company have said, go kill more. Nobody's really talking about it because the media is super focused on Trump and all the bullshit going on there. We've got a lot of horrible stuff going on right now at home. So they're not busy talking about all the horrible stuff we're doing abroad. Like slaughtering civilians in Iraq, Syria, Yemen. Air raids, airstrikes. We've gone to war. We've sent troops on the ground. We're on the brink of war with North Korea. North Korea says it's ready to go to war with us. We've got two fucking insane clown kings ready to fight each other. They'll survive. Both of them. Understand that. They'll survive. Both those fat fucks. The rest of us, we're the ones who are going to suffer the consequences. We've got a healthcare system that's, not working, and we've got a government that wants to take it all away from us anyway. It's ridiculous. At the same time, I just wanted to point out that we're murdering people around the world. That hasn't changed. It's actually gotten worse. Obama was doing it mostly covertly and then reporting on it nicely. Now we don't have to report on it at all, and we're doing it however we please. Just walking around the world murdering children, murdering civilians, blowing up mosques, and then saying, oh, well, there was a cell in there. That's why we, Islamic terror. It's a cell. Had to blow them up. That's why I say this is we're doing more than changing our political system. We're changing an entire way of thinking. And that's what we're fighting. This is the last gasp of greedy old white men. That is who we fight. Our global enemy, greedy old white men, and the greedy old white man, I'm better than you because I'm white and because I'm a man, thinking. That's white male privilege is what has fucked this planet up. And it's continuing to fuck it up right now. And there's a lot of white old men that need to die. And that's my personal opinion. So I just want to get that out there. I'm not suggesting I'm going to go kill them. I'm just saying they need to be removed from power and they need to be taken out as super criminals that have slaughtered millions in the name of greed. You don't keep those people alive. You don't give those people an option. So I'm just saying that we're in a place right now where we have to choose to survive. We have to choose to shift. And we have to choose to eliminate corrupt human beings in our government. And it's a fight for survival. Here's the reason I'm going off on this right now. I mean, there's been news about climate that's pretty devastating. More and more studies have come out this year talking about environmental disasters that are increasing, methane bubbles in Siberia. We are looking at about a 10-year lifespan, all of us, right now. I don't say that to be, I don't say that to get ratings. I say that this is what I've been contemplating personally. If you've got 10 years left to live and you know that, no matter how hard you fight, and that's what I'm saying, no matter how hard we fight, no matter what we do, this planet is going to be hell on fucking earth. There will be mass migrations to Michigan. Michigan will be the place to live because of what climate change is doing. I have no idea what's going to happen up here in the Pacific Northwest because things keep shifting. And climate scientists have said we're in uncharted territory. We have no fucking idea how bad it will get now because we had no idea that this shit was going to get this bad. It's bad. That's where we sit. And so I'm here with Markus today. I'm here with you guys today. And what we're talking about, other than politics and how we deal with this shit, what I'm dealing with right now is what do I do with the last 10 years of my life? Because no matter how hard I work, no matter how hard I try, I don't think we're going to be able to stop. We won't. We can't. We're 30 years behind the ball on stopping the environmental disaster that is on the way. And we can't even stop the new environmental disaster that has been created this year alone, thanks to Donald Trump. it's going to be scary fucking times for all of us. And that's a reality we have to face. That's a reality we have to accept. And sometimes it's really hard to even wake up in the morning and go, yeah, one of my last days on earth. Yes, I realize we all say that. But normally we're like, I'll fantasize about living some full life. Now I don't have that. I know I've got a very short, limited amount of time with which to do things on this earth. Much shorter than normal human life. That's why we're talking about this stuff. I realize the whole thing, guys, because, and yes, Jilly Love, go green, absolutely. It's just that the United States is not anywhere near there. We have to shift things massively. The whole reason I brought this up is because I was watching this show. I don't know if you guys watch this show, Dr. Jeff. He's on Animal Planet, and he's actually in Colorado. And there's so many like wildlife preserves in Colorado. I had no fucking idea. I grew up in Colorado. I didn't know these things exist. Maybe they didn't exist before. They exist now. Anyway, it's a cool doctor. And last night they were talking about the Louisiana 500-year flood. That was what, last year? This year? I don't remember when that flood was. And they were going down. And this is when it hit me. This is what overwhelmed me. We're already looking at all this death and dying and destruction that we've caused around the world. Famine in the Sudan, Peru, hundreds of thousands without home. They just went through massive flooding in Peru. There's global devastation happening all over the place. And then I find out about all these thousands of animals that have been separated from their families due to this flooding. And they're either floating away dead or starving, wandering, looking for the families, or the families are unable to connect with them because they got separated. I'm like, oh God, think about all that. Think about all that. Nobody is talking about the true devastation to a family unit of a flood. Nobody's talking about these things. They're happening all over the world. They're happening in the United States right now, the devastation from the environment. Nobody's talking about the true cost, the true damage that's being done here. Because nobody's talking about climate change. For real. And that hit me as I was like, my God, we're just slaughtering everything. We're such destroyers. It's like the power of God in the hands of a malignant child. That's what we are. And it's sad. And moving on to even more happy stuff, just to show the hypocrisy of what's going on today. That is a room full of men. There are no women. There are no women in this room. That is a room full of fucking men deciding women's maternity leave and other newborn care, hospitalization, preventative care that they are not going to get now as part of Trump's great health care. They're just like, let's make sure women don't get shit. We're men, and we have penises, and once we inject our penis into the women, they're fucked. Fuck them. Just fuck them. Fuck women. That's basically what this is. A bunch of greedy old fucking white men. It's absolutely insane. There is not a single fucking woman, and there's not a single fucking... Everybody in there. Then wait, there's one brown guy. One brown guy way in the back. Looks like Bobby Jingle. Probably not.
Isn't there Kellyanne in the background?
Oh, she doesn't count. No, she doesn't qualify as a woman anymore. I just got to say this. Any woman, just personal opinion, any woman that would continue to associate with the GOP or anything going on with the right, I just personally don't respect you or see you qualifying as a woman. With the way they shit on your rights. There's something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. That's Kellyanne was in density. Yeah, very true. We have another oil spill. Is that what this is? CNBC? Wonderful. Wonderful. Humans cannot stop global warming. All we can do is adapt. Yeah, Phil, you're absolutely right. All we can do is adapt. Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see what happens as the Midwest as the Bible Belt, as the Rust Belt needs to adapt. In a sick way, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Let's see what you guys do, Americans. See how you adapt. Anyway, I know this isn't a cheery. Oh, stop it with your giant goddamn advertisement, The Hill. Oh no, CBS News. So what I was just saying about the healthcare, we were talking about how there's a group of lawmakers. That article is linked. 7-figure fund promised for lawmakers who vote against GOP healthcare bill because it's not shitty enough. That is our government right there. Who can purchase the corrupt people? You know. So Obama was a man. Fuckers are as fuckers do. Yeah, I go with you there. Obama wasn't a good president. Obama was just a palatable president. He smiled, shot hoops, made us all feel better. Hope change. He still slaughtered civilians around the world. He still fracked the earth. He's still a repugnant warmongering piece of shit. Just Trump is worse. I never thought I'd say that. Looking like a Klan meeting on that picture. Yeah, they just took their hoods off. They don't need hoods anymore, right? That's basically what it is. Hey, we own this White House. It's the White House. We should. They should just put a hat on the top of the White House. Just fucking build a giant KKK hat on it, right? That's so what they need to do.
It reminds me of the Monty Python movie.
Yes.
You know, when what was Life of Brian? It was Life of Brian when all the women were dressed as men, you know, and to kill that guy because he said Jehovah.
Yes.
You remember this with all the wrong? It's the other way around.
Yeah. Oh man, the Life of Brian. Yes. Yes, we've entered times where the ridiculous is plausible. It's here. It's here. Good point. Obama had a lot of eloquent words, but his actions tell a different story. Exactly, Metalhead. But I voted for him. I helped him. I was ready for that hope and change. I was excited. I got fooled. Obama was just the white person's Bill Clinton, basically. Black people got Bill. We got Obama. Same bullshit, different popsicle. What? Biggest dickest? What are you guys talking? Paula. Let's move on into some other not good news. Right? Here. So, in Iowa, here's one of the reasons why we need to get... We got to get somebody out there helping Scott. There's just too much going on. With Waterworks lawsuit dismissed, water quality is the legislature's problem. It's actually nobody's problem, apparently. What's going on here? So... The Iowa, who is it? One group of people, the water people in Iowa, the water control board, whatever they are, that control the water in Iowa, they tried to sue farmers and counties. This is how stupid things go in a profit-first capitalist ideology. Instead of working together to come up with a solution, one group sues the other, saying, you guys need to stop making our water full of fucking nitrates, pesticides, basically not pesticides, the fertilizers, all the fucking fertilizers. All right, this is what our guy Tom Fegan, who ran for Iowa Senate, was talking about. We've got all the cancers that are being caused by pesticides. Cancer in Iowa is off the fucking charts compared to other places because of the amount of pesticides and fucking fertilizers they use in their soils and everywhere. It goes into the water, and the water board was like, we're suing farmers and counties because they're putting too much shit into their soil, which is going into our water. Now remember, we've talked about cover crops, which is another way to deal with it, non-GMO seeds. There are so many ways to farm without using pesticides or nitrates or any kind of fertilizers at all, but Iowan farmers are not subsidized for it. They would actually have to pay the bill to be nice to the environment. So most of them don't give a fuck, and they just use the cheap pesticides and cheap nitrates, and they use the cheap GMO seeds provided by Monsanto, and they fuck their soil. And all that runoff goes into the water, and then they drink it, and then their people die, and then they wonder what the fuck. Actually, they don't even wonder what the fuck. They just go, our people die, but I'm saving $5 on not using that organic bullshit. That's the stupidity. Okay, sorry, Iowa farmers, but really, pull your fucking heads out of your ass. You're killing yourselves. You are killing yourselves. But here's how Iowa tries to fix the situation. Right? So the water board sues the farmers. The farmers say, fuck you. It goes to court. Court says you can't sue the farmers for the water. It's your problem. So the legislature of Iowa, the state of, it's their problem. Nothing's going to happen there. Nothing's going to happen there. That's where all the corrupt people sit. Iowa does not have a democratic state government. Iowa has a very Republican state government. Iowa is very happy in terms of their state government with regard to the poison in the water. They don't give a fuck. They're not drinking it. That's what's going on right here. The citizens of Iowa need to stand up and say fuck you to all these people and take over the government. You're not going to change any of that with protests. You're not going to change any of that with creating a third party. You're not going to change any of that with going to their offices. You're going to change it by taking over the government. Becoming those roles. It's just amazing. How can we pass the buck? We'll just push the buck back up to the toppest level of government that's corrupt, so nobody can make any changes. The water people can't change things. The county people can't change things. In the meantime, Iowans die. And our water gets polluted. Iowan runoff, the runoff from Iowa fucking water, has created a dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico. They've traced it directly to it. It's like, this shit's coming from Iowa. Nowhere else. Iowa, folks. It's insane. It's insane. What's covering all the things you need to live? You get a good supply of chemicals in water and food? Well, yes, we do from the Iowa, yes. Golf courses the size of 2 Rhode Islands in America poisons it. Yeah. Yes, yes. Oh, God knows what they put on golf courses. I can't even go there to keep the manicured, beautiful grass. I am sure they are just poisoning the fuck out of every golf course around. I am absolutely sure that who knows? It's probably turning it into plasticine. Wouldn't even know. Absolutely. Go Hogs. He's talking about. Hey, Corporation Killer. Lots of people here. All right. Next, a little hypocrisy for everybody. We all like hypocrisy. Right? Colorado guy. If you're in Colorado and you're a voter, here's somebody you want to make sure doesn't have a job. This guy, ex-Colorado GOP head charged with voter fraud. The greatest part of this story is that he's got a quote saying, the only evidence of voter fraud, or only times I've ever seen voter fraud, which has never really fucking happened, except for in this case. He said, it's always been Democrats. Democratic Party always voter frauding. It's always them, the Democrats. No, it was you this time, you motherfucker. You filled out your wife's ballot. That's voter fraud. What we really have going on in this country is election fraud and voter suppression. Those are the two words that are really going on. We have a fraudulent election process, and we have the suppression of voters. That's really what's happening. This bullshit is the narrative that gets spun on mainstream media and talked about all the time on mainstream media. They don't talk about the election fraud. They don't talk about the voter suppression. They talk about voter fraud, which only happens with GOP hypocritical fucks. And that is actually true. There have been more than this. There have been several stories about Bannon, Trump, his family. They've all committed voter fraud. Okay? They have all committed voter fraud. It's not a big fucking deal, but they've all voted in several different places. They've committed voter fraud. They have. Our government officials, the people claiming we're the ones out there with the time to do this bullshit. It's not a plot by George Soros. It's the greedy old white men already in government. It's fucking hypocrisy. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Pisses me off. That's fly in a transformer? What are you guys talking about? The fly that keeps flying around my head, it's pissing me off so bad. Bugging the shit out of me. I don't know what to do, but it's just like, what, Marcus?
Spy-fly. It's a spy-fly, John.
It's a
By the
firefly.
NSA. A spy-fly.
It could be. Is that the really? That's the they can go right through my camera. They don't need to send a fly in here, for fuck's sake. I talk to them every. Hey, NSA and CIA, fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking assholes. This is a fuck show, apparently, today. We're just going to drop as many F-bombs as we can. Probably get slammed by YouTube for not advertiser friendly. Whatever. Like I said, we're doing other shows. If only this mattered, I'm just going to put this up for one quick second. One quick second. If only this mattered. The Vatican to hold Islamic prayers for the first time in history. You know what I'd like the Vatican to do? To admit that it's religion. It's a bunch of shit. They're all a bunch of shit. And that people need to move on. Read a fucking science book. That would be the best thing for the Vatican to do ever. I think that's a nice gesture, I guess. I don't know. Here's why I question women who continue to stay in the GOP. House GOP rep resigns from failing party citing racist and sexist bullying. We know this. I mean, the party stands for racism and sexist bullying. That should be their motto. The GOP, grand old party of racism and sexism. Because that's what they are. I don't know how you could be a woman and actually believe in the values. As a woman, I definitely want men controlling my body. That's what you say. As a woman, I definitely want men telling me when I should be allowed to have an abortion. That's what you say as a woman if you are in the GOP. I don't get that. Here's a woman who said, what's interesting, why did she go for the GOP? She thought she could make a difference. She thought she could infiltrate the GOP and make a difference. Nope. What happened to her is disgusting. It's disgusting. I mean, Hawaii Rep. Beth Fukumoto announced on Wednesday that she would be leaving the Republican Party and is seeking to join the Democratic Party instead. Sorry, putting up the shot. Here we go. KITV4 reports. She cited racism and sexism as the core reasons why she's leaving during a press conference. Those were already there. It's like, oh, that's not new. Surprise. You know, Fukumoto was ousted by Hawaii GOP from her position as House Minority Leader last month after she participated in the Women's March. That's why. She participated in the Women's March. And they ousted her as the Minority Leader because the Women's March was protesting Trump because Trump is anti-women. This is how disgusting. Again, if you're a woman and for some reason you think the GOP is okay, there's something wrong with you. There is something fucked up in your head and you need to go see a doctor. Seriously. And that's none of the audience in here. We got a great audience. There's nobody in this audience. We don't get any Trump followers in this office. In this audience. We don't get any GOP. So I'm just echo chamber, everybody. I just got to say it. Here's what she said. When I joined the Republican Party 8 years ago. When I joined the Republican Party 8 years ago. God damn it, I lost it. Sorry. This part of what I have to learn with the new setup is where all my stuff is. And I moved the laptop from here to here. I moved audio. Everything's moved around. So like, and the cursors, I knew this show was going to be insane for production, but it's worse than normal, Marcus. It's already bad. It's worse than normal today.
No, I don't think so, because everything is streaming. We have no interruptions, no crashes.
That's true.
Everything's fine.
On that level, you're right. We haven't shut down yet. All right. Here's what she said. When I joined the Republican Party 8 years ago, I did so with a group of people my age who were full of hope, ideas, and energy. Sounds like a great idea, right? In their view, the Democratic Party represented the status quo, which it did, who were not concerned with the lives of local Hawaiians, dealing with income inequality and a housing crisis. So for some reason, she thought the Republican Party was going to be a better fit. Whatever. Maybe she just went in to change the Republican Party, which is what we're doing to the Democratic Party, right? I discovered that it wasn't just me and my Republican friends trying to change the status quo, right? The statement continued. There were good Democrats trying to change things too. So we started working together. That's important. She reached across party lines and realized there were other people that were concerned about the issues, right? Not party issues, but the issues, income inequality, right? Healthcare, all the issues that we've been talking about, the issues that matter. That's not what the GOP is about. They don't give a fuck all about the issues, and the establishment doesn't give a fuck all about the issues. So here's a group of young Republicans thinking they're going to tackle the issues like they should, and they meet a bunch of Democrats going to tackle the issues. And here's what in doing so, I ran into Republican partisanship that insisted I stop working with Democrats even when it clearly benefited our community. That's not their job. That's failing to do their job. They represent the people. When you do that, you failed in doing your job. That's why this democracy doesn't work. It's because we have representatives that have the gall to say that shit. That's bullshit. Fukumoto explained that she did everything she could think of to fight for a better Republican Party, including speaking out against Trump. Ultimately, it would be up to Democrats to decide if they want to accept me or not. But I want to assure my constituents that I will continue to uphold the convictions I have always demonstrated, regardless of my political affiliation, which makes her a fantastic politician. That's what it's about. The party shouldn't mean jack shit. It's about what she can do for the people she represents. The issues. And that's why I don't give a fuck about what party Bernie's in, and I don't give a fuck about what we call the Democratic Party. I just want a party of people that give a shit about the issues. Obviously, the Republican Party in Hawaii doesn't give a fuck about the issues. Calling the GOP a failing party, Fukumoto told KHON too, I want to be productive. I could stay. I could continue to criticize. I could be that voice of opposition. But what good does it do for the people of Hawaii? And what good does that do for my district? Great question. When she's going to be fought every step of the way. I don't know. I think what we should do is run her as like the leader of the... She should take over the Republican Party over there. I don't know how we make that happen, but she sounds like a reasonable Republican to me. I just want a party. Yeah, I know. What are you guys talking about? One corporate party, two right wings. What is German philately? What? What are you guys talking about?
Stamps.
Stats?
Stamps.
Oh, okay.
Stamps. You put them on, you know? Collecting stamps.
Oh, stamps. Thank you. I'm just ignorant. Stamps. Do you do that too? Why are we talking about stamps?
No, I was not into collecting anything.
Yes, Dems are also failing, Jilly Love. Listen, I'm not saying... The Democratic Party is so... We have to put... There's that fly. We have to put other... We have to take... We got work to do. We got work to do on the ground game. Got work to do in 2018. We got work to do in 2020. And as climate change continues to fuck our world, the message will become more clear. I mean, here's what's going to happen. Every year, the Midwest, the Rust Belt, and other places that are affected much more adversely by climate change than other parts of the United States of America. This is the only good thing. I hate to say this. I'm sorry to say this. I got to look at some silver linings. This is my silver lining. The people most against climate change, the people who deny it, the people who are the most ignorant, seem to be in the parts of North America that are going to be most affected by climate change. And that gives me some hope. That's all I can say. Either by a thinning of the herd due to natural disaster, or an awakening of the herd due to, fuck, I'm now underwater. Or whatever it happens to be, on fire. That's what I'm looking for, is that, climate to kick these people in the teeth. And it's starting to happen. When Louisiana has a 500-year flood twice a year, when your fire season is now year-round instead of a few months out of the summer. There's so many indications. All it's going to take is a lot more dead people, a lot more destroyed environment. We'll get there. Will we get there in time to save humanity? Probably not, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I only put this article in here, by the way, I only put this article in here because of how much I dislike Paul Krugman. Do you remember Paul Krugman, everybody? Do you remember Paul Krugman, Marcus?
I knew you would ask me this. The name sounds familiar, but you got to tell me more about him.
So, who remembers Paul Krugman out there who followed Bernie in the primaries? Paul Krugman was a shill for Hillary, and he was the primary voice of economic attack against Bernie Sanders' plans. And every time Robert Reich would put out something, Paul Krugman would put out something to deflate Robert Reich, and he was just a fucking asshole, a hack. He just spewed garbage out of his fucking hole for Hillary Clinton, and he was like one of the main voices against reason, against Bernie Sanders, against all of it. And now the fucker is out here acting like he's part of the resistance, and I'm just, this is just something I got to say to get over it. Fuck you, Paul Krugman. You shouldn't even have a career anywhere. You should be silent and go crawl in a fucking hole. There. I just had to get that off my chest. Because I know we all have to unite together to save the planet, and Paul Krugman is a human being and he's included in that. But the amount of shit he threw against Bernie Sanders, the amount of poo he flung, garbage, absolute fucking journalistic garbage, he should be held accountable for it. Because he was a large part in why I'm with Hillary did what it did. Just got to say that. Just got to say that. Krugman is the guy I blocked on Twitter a couple of years ago. Yes, he is an asshat, Manic DBB. He's just a shit. Anyway, he's written an article talking about, how the GOP is evil, blah, blah, blah. And he's trying to make a career comeback or something. I don't know. There are a lot of people that are in this is the article, is the scammers, the scammed, and America's fate. Fuck you, Paul Krugman. There are a lot of people in my mind, a lot of pundits that need to be retired and put away. You're done. You've lost your credibility. Rachel Maddow, you too. Bye-bye. We need somebody else besides you. Get the hell out of here, Rachel Maddow. You've lost your integrity. Here, good news. I'll switch to good news really quick. We're on to climate stuff. 2 Ohio coal-burning power plants bite the dust. Woo! I sent this to Trump. Guys, I basically write tweets to Trump. I tell him to fuck off. I call him names. And I send him stuff. I'm like, here you go. Fuck you. So, I want to keep him aware of all the things happening that are the opposite of what he talks about. Right? And that's promise to restore coal jobs, he said, has been destroyed by environmental regulations. That's the insanity of that man. He wants to restore the coal industry because it's saving the environment by killing it. Coal being more important than the environment we live in for Donald Trump. That's what that's the disconnect, right? Krugman worked for Reagan. Oh, he did? That figures. He's just a fucktard. You did, Lynn? My shit. Yeah, I like to call Trump a fat ass and a shit stain all the time. I'm insignificant. He doesn't block me. I've got like 16,000 followers. He doesn't give a shit what I say. If I were Van Jones or, somebody with 1.5 million subscribers, then yeah, I'm sure it would. I'm sure it's something else would happen. I also tweet. You guys just stay with me. I have, I got the ghost logo on. That's the new logo. Glad you noticed. Ashley made that. I got a great story at the end that's going to make you cheer. It really is. Just stay with me till the end. It's a wonderful story. Look, we could, you know what, Marcus? Germans, we need to get your... Reach out to your German friends, because I know you guys know everybody. You're a small country. Reach out to your German friends that did the that did the underwater battery in the coal mine, and let's see if we can't convince them to do this with these 2 power plants. That's
I'll follow this. Yeah. It runs out in April this year, I think, if I remember right.
Why hasn't Tesla started that division? Tesla's submarine or something, water battery. He should be doing this, buying old coal mines and turning them into these hydroelectric storage facilities.
I don't think he must have. Well, he must do this. I think it is better to see how many different minds at different places are inventing new ideas to get things done. And this is the amazing thing.
You're right.
Instead of only one person doing this.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I mean, so that gives me hope. It's just other countries, you guys are going to be in better shape. America's going to have to truly fall to pieces, and we're working on it fast. But we will be in pieces. You guys will be saving the environment. We will be in the dark ages for a while. Sorry. That's where we're headed. Huh. I seriously, I told my wife the other day, I said, the reason I'm pushing for us to invest in solar right now, when it's probably a little more expensive than it should be, and the reason I'm really trying to get this done is because we need to be off grid. We need to be able to be off grid. We need to be able to have power. I'm frightened by the status of our grid, especially if we go to war. That's the first thing. If I were another nation, I know exactly how I'd fuck the United States. It'd be so easy. I'd use EM pulse. I'd take out the internet. I'd take out the electric grid. Toast. The water's already poisoned. I don't have to do much. I mean, anyway. And Steve Collins, that's your feelings about Maddow and all MSM. Yeah, Maddow. I used to watch her. I used to like Rachel Maddow. I used to think liberal MSM was great. I bought into that whole fucking paradigm. It's a very ignorant American. Very ignorant American. Awake with John and Markus to start my day. Oh, that's awesome, Steve. Please advise, where do we stream John's show now? Why? What do you mean? Did I get shut down again? No, we're still running. We're on Uphill Media, which is the Bernie 2016 Channel 2. It's the old Channel 2. Anyway, what's this $30,000 a day? Is that Rachel? Is that what she gets? Yeah, figures. All right, what else? We're making good time. Oh, I forgot about this. This is really cool. Not Manic. Matt Orfala. I used to pronounce his name Orfalia because I had no idea. And then I watched a video where he spoke and he pronounced his name, and it's Orfala. I'm like, oh, well, fucking great. Anyway, if you don't remember Matt, he produced a lot of really great videos back in the Bernie days, the primaries, and we ran a lot of those videos, and we shared his content, and we were in contact through Twitters and all that stuff. And he recently started a Patreon account, and I've linked one of his videos. And if you guys want to, help him out, subscribe to his channel. I asked him if we could continue to run his videos and mention his Patreon, and it's just patreon.com/Matt Orfala. And I'm sure the link is in to the video, and we've got those links in the rundown, right? So he makes really good videos. He's like Ashley, where he can put together these great, trailers for whatever. And so this is Matt. He's got one called The Big Idea documentary trailer. This is on basic income guarantee, and this is really where. When I say it's not just about democracy, when I say it's not just about taking back our government, waking up as a people, it's because we're moving to that. We're moving to the point where capitalism and profit do not drive survival. That's what has to shift. Right? We live on a planet of abundance. We have machines that will be taking over most of the things that we do. We will all need to be retrained to do things that machines are going to take care for us. Well, doesn't mean we won't need to have jobs or work, but a basic income makes sense because it provides for all, which helps everybody. Even if you don't need that provision, it helps you to have everybody else taken care of. And if you have to really think that out, then you probably need to go back to school. I don't know what else to say. But we're going to watch Matt talk about this because the idea of basic income has been around a long time. And it's been talked about a lot by a lot of people. I was surprised at who. Let's just watch this together and learn from Matt. And here we're going to...
We are to bring America to the point that we have one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There are certain things that we must do.
Today, I'd like to share a big idea with you. The idea of some of history's greatest thinkers.
A guaranteed minimum income for all people and for all families of our country.
Free money for everyone.
True individual freedom cannot exist without economic security.
An income fully adequate to a decent life.
Basic income guarantee.
Give everybody X amount of dollars a year to live. And I was like, get out of here. But then I started looking into it.
We can end poverty in the United States. Our nation has the resources to do it.
Think outside of the box.
It's an idea that unites politicians from the left to the right.
A basic federal minimum would be provided.
It's an almost forgotten episode in the history of the United States.
Although it's not politically feasible now, the force of history is on its side. It's going to become political.
We are living through a time and age in which our societies and economies are changing faster than ever.
This hollowing out of the middle class, the pressures that we see on the average American family.
Frankly, part of it's had to do with automation.
Jobs are being displaced.
Even though we're making the same amount of stuff, we're employing fewer people.
And we ain't seen nothing yet.
We need a minimum basic income.
I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Everyone can enjoy a life of luxurious leisure if the machine-produced wealth is shared.
Or we're going to move towards a matrix-like dystopia where humans will all become servants to the owners of the machines.
Insecurities and inequalities are multiplying.
It seems to me the civil rights movement must now begin to organize for the guaranteed income.
The end of slavery, equal rights for men and women, utopias have a tendency of coming true.
Hi, I'm Matt Orfala, and I've been writing articles and making videos about the big idea of a basic income guarantee for the past few years now. Please help me continue to share the history and importance of this big idea with a new series of videos by supporting me on Patreon here. As always, thanks for watching.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate the work you do. And if you guys can, click on that video, click on the Patreon account, help Matt. I just became a patron. Just so you guys know, I do. You guys become patrons of me and Uphill Media, and then I turn around and become patrons of some other people. We all got to help each other, right? And so I appreciate everything. I mean, the fact that the gear is here right now to do what we need to do is because you guys have been supporting us. So thank you. But that's, basic income. We had capitalism and greed not gotten in the way, had our democracy stayed functional, had our citizens remained awake and taken part in that democracy, we would not be here today. We would be in the stars. We'd have starships, everything that we wanted. We'd have a basic income. We'd have that happy federation. We're just behind the ball about 40 years. 40 years. We'll get there. And if the planet survives, if we survive, the planet will be fine. If we survive, then fun times ahead. Seriously. We just got to survive. Right, Marcus? Can't be that hard.
Yes, I hope so. But I disagree. It can't be that hard. It will be very, very hard.
It will be.
Because look at the socialistic idea to think that machines are working for people, for a community, or for a society. This is for certain people unthinkable, in my opinion.
Yes, but what you just said is actually really important. You said the idea of machines working for people in the place of people. They're doing that right now. They're just not doing it for all people. They're doing it for a very select few. And that's,
exactly.
That's what we need to change. You and I are not reaping the benefit. Actually, you are reaping more benefit from that paradigm than I am at this point, simply because of where we live. All right, but you are certainly not reaping the full benefit of what modern technology could be providing for you. None of us are close.
It was the big critique by Karl Marx, about the owners of the means of production.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. The graphic today, Steve Collins, is beautiful. I love that. The spirit of 17. It's what we're in right now. This is. You got to take that spirit. You got to take that passion and the energy that we create here, and whether it's based on positive energy or negative energy because you're upset or you're happy, whatever it is, that's got to be your drive and the will to survive. That's it's beyond politics. It's beyond democracy. It's about human survival now. We are survivors. Yes, Barbara. Hopefully. Thank you, Phil, for always saying that. Sharing the links. It really does help, guys. Aw, thanks, Wesley Scott. Good to see you. And thank you, Soul Rebel, for becoming a patron. Appreciate that. All right, we're almost out of here. Got 15 minutes. Doing good on the time. Just wanted to make sure I hadn't missed anything. And yes, Bernice Panders, we will be playing. Actually, we got to get to that. We'll be playing the... What is this? What article is this? Here, I got a couple of videos. We'll be playing the Adam... Oh, I can't remember his name. The video you've been asking me to play for freaking weeks. I got it loaded. We'll play it. Adam Savage, Reason. That's it. That's who it was. Oh, nice. Chili Love. I'm surprised Humboldt has any PGE in it and not all green. But that's good. Good. Totally glad. That's fantastic. All right, we're going to watch this video because I thought this was cool. The advancement of biofuels. So, just really quick, the reason this is very cool is because I've been talking about this for a while, and this seems to be better than what I was complaining about. Biofuels, which I don't like, these blends that we used to sell, they're so low in the actual amount of biofuel, it's like pointless. They're mostly diesel with a little bit of biodiesel added, and they're called biofuels. It's like bullshit, right? And that's what we had at the gas pump we've had that for a decade. Oh, if you want to feel, good about yourself, buy this fuel, which really doesn't provide that much more benefit. It's like 20% at the most bio. The rest of it's just fucking good old diesel, right? Here's a company that's actually doing what I have an engine behind me that runs on vegetable oil. It's a diesel engine. All diesel engines can run on just vegetable oil. I've got a conversion kit that makes it happen. Why don't we do this? Fossil fuels. Why don't we do this? Fossil fuels. Profit, money, greed, right? But here's a company that's like, okay, let's produce it. So, they've basically turned 100% sludge vegetable oil that comes from restaurants, right? And they turn it into 80% of it, right? They get 80% back. Out of 1,000 gallons, they get 800 gallons of biofuel that is as toxic as salt. Not equivalently, but I mean, that basically, it's not, it's not the same toxicity as salt. That's what, relatively equivalent to salt. So that's what they've done. We're going to watch this video because that's the kind of innovation that I like. They want to call this biofuel and sell it. That's fantastic because it's not some bullshit blend. It's really biofuel. So let's watch this.
When they see me coming, they're ready to process. I make it this way with the product, offload it so we can make some biodiesel.
Our tagline is collect, refine, refuel. We collect cooking oil all over the West Coast. We consolidate it in Salem, Oregon, turn it into biodiesel, and then we distribute it back throughout the West Coast. We make one of the lowest carbon fuels in the market.
This is where all the magic happens.
Roughly 1,000 gallons of gnarly used cooking oil converts into approximately 900 gallons of beautiful, clean, burning biodiesel fuel. Here's a fuel that can power a huge diesel engine and is less toxic than table salt. The Oregon Clean Fuel Program gives a financial incentive to those companies figuring out ways to produce lower and lower carbon fuels for our transportation needs.
Without that policy, we are up against a David and Goliath story with traditional big oil controlling the markets, controlling distribution infrastructure.
Next month will be 4 years for me, so I'm pretty excited, yeah.
Feels great to see our product at the pumps.
I'm proud to work for a company that is making a difference in the fueling industry.
In the U.S., we just turned the corner where there's more people employed in the renewable sector than in oil and gas. That's a huge step. If Oregon wants to be a leader, wants to be known by history as a place that took climate change seriously, then we need to stand up, maintain support for the Oregon Clean Fuel Program, and look for ways to push it forward and make it stronger and better.
That's badass, right? And that's what's significant about that is the diesel conversion kit that I have requires non-hydrogenated vegetable oil. And that's not always hard to get, but restaurants tend to use hydrogenated vegetable oils because it's cheaper, right? And it's better to use in a fryer. Interestingly enough, most Asian restaurants will spend the money to use peanut oil because they know it's better and it's not non-hydrogenated, right? It's not mixed. It's pure, and that's what this conversion kit needs. If you have hydrogenated vegetable oil, then it's got water in it. It ruins the engine. That's basically what it is. It's you can't use that. So what this system does that is better is it takes all the oil and it obviously processes out the shit that it can't deal with, processes out all the impurities, all that stuff, right? And turns it into decent fuel. And these are truckers that are using that in their vehicles. And that's brilliant. Why don't we have this happen all over the place with waste oil? We got shit tons of waste oil. Who is it? Butterball, ConAgra. Millions of gallons of waste oil just dumped every year because it's been contaminated. It's cooking oil that's been contaminated. So now it's longer. They have nothing to do with it. They just dump it. That could be turned into fucking fuel. But they don't. They're probably getting money from the fossil fuel industry to not go that direction, So anyway, I thought this was really cool. It's very cool. Moving on. Really quick. I love this. Mushrooms. What can you do with shrooms? You can make packing material with the mycelium, which are the roots of a mushroom. It's absolutely freaking brilliant. That's a box made from mushroom. They basically create these, this has been going on for a while, but now it's starting to be used in regular packing. And you can throw that thing in your garden. It's basically mulch. It'll decompose. So you take like wood fiber, like plant fiber, and they put it in, they basically make the mold of that. And it's got space in there. And then they put the mushrooms in there to grow, and the mycelium grows in and fills in the gaps and basically hardens that plant fiber. And then they take the mushrooms out, and you've got your container. So you can grow it to any size, any form, because the mycelium will fill whatever shape you want. It's fucking brilliant. Why don't we do this all around the world right now? Because fossil fuel industry. Right. Brilliant. What's really cool is that this is IKEA is going to use mushroom-based packaging that will decompose in a garden within weeks. So this is the entire IKEA industry. So, they must employ like most of Sweden, I guess. But that's good. One big industry. We got to get others to do it. Marcus, you're looking at that, shaking your head. You think that's cool?
No, I'm nodding. It is absolutely great. It is a smart idea, and this should be installed at many places as possible. in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
This idea.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Real quick, guys, I had mentioned it, but Peru, major flooding. I don't hear anything about it and there's nobody talking about it on CBS Nightly News. Rachel Maddow hasn't mentioned it, has she? California has weed on wheels. Cannabis stores now deliver. They're starting to do that here. The place that I go green. They offer delivery. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I need a reason to get out and go into town and be social. I can't have you deliver. I'd never go. Can you pick up groceries on the way? I'm really got the munchies.
And cookies.
Right.
Cookies.
If they combined a supermarket trip, if they would do that with cannabis delivery, you would just have you could just jack humans into plugs and they'd never leave their homes. That would be it. Talk about creating the Matrix right there. Need more weed. We'll work for weed. That's just.
Oh God.
That's all right. At least it keeps us less aggro, right? Just calm down. I just want to. Something that I always keep in mind is that, like, we're animals. We're really just the supposedly the top of the animal. We think we're the top of the evolutionary chain. For all we know, dolphins and whales are a lot smarter than us, and they're just waiting for us to die. Right?
Domestic primates.
Right.
John.
We're the smartest domestic primates. Yeah, that's. Anyway, move on. There was a reason I was going there. I'm not even going there anymore. Let's move it on. Because we're running out of time. We got to play the reason speech. We got the reason speech. All right. And then we got the song. We got our Left Field and Sleaford mods. I'm not familiar with these guys. This is Marcus's pick. But just really quick, you guys need a good laugh. Even though they're like complete assholes and psychopaths, and we know that we want to get rid of them, they are fun to laugh at. Donald Trump Jr.'s New York Times photo has the internet cracking up and cracking jokes because he looks like a sad model. This is the quotes on this. Donald Trump Jr. decided early on not to measure himself against his father. That's a quote. Some of these are really bad. But that picture, it's just when you knock someone out with a shovel, but you don't know what's next. You know, I've often thought of becoming a golf club. Just a couple of pals who won't grow up. Donald Trump Jr. looks like a scarecrow that the bank leaves on a foreclosed farm. When the other hunters call you Richie Rich. This Groot origin story sucks. It's just the picture itself. I don't see him as the kind of guy that actually enjoys the environment wearing his lumberjacky looking environment clothes, right? I mean, the golf course is about as far as it gets for Don Jr., right? So, yes, they kill magnificent wild animals for fun. They don't go, you're right, they don't go into the wilderness to enjoy it. They just go out and shoot things. Yeah, he killed tiger. Yeah, he did all that shit. I know, look at how exactly everything on him was clean, right? It's like none of this shit has touched dirt. I'm just out here. They flew me in by helicopter, dropped me on this stump, took these pictures,
and put him on again.
It's so perfect. All right, here. Now we're going to watch. This is 6 minutes, 10 seconds. Kick back, enjoy. Bernice Panders, you've been asking me to play this goddamn video for so long, and I finally remembered to pull it up. This is Reason is Free for All but Utilized by Few. Adam Savage speech, which apparently has been right on the mark for a long time. Actually, you published this on your channel, and that's where we're playing it from, your channel. So give me a minute to set that up, and we will finally all together watch the Adam Savage clip that Bernice has wanted me to play. I have a feeling I've seen this before and completely forgot. Either way, I'm sure it's going to be inspiring, so enjoy. And sorry, that was so loud.
I've been racking my brain for the past few weeks trying to think of ways to talk about reason and being reasonable. It turns out it's not a simple subject. I am a very non-confrontational person. I am most of the time the very definition of a reasonable man. I don't like telling people things they don't want to hear. I want people to get along. I want people to like me. I want to find good things in people. I want to understand viewpoints that differ from mine. I want my tombstone to say, he was nice to work with. I have children. I want to raise them in a world they can add value to, that has value to them. I want for them to feel entitled only to working hard at doing what they love in order to be excellent at it and to share their lives and the rewards with those that they love. Of course, I think this is all anyone wants for their children or themselves. I try and inculcate them with a sense of logic about the world, which means most of the time I'm pointing out things to them that are absurd and ridiculous as a counterpoint. And right now, there is plenty to point to. I console myself, however, with the thought that for anyone truly paying attention, for at least the last 300 years, the world has always been chock full of absurd contradictions and has always seemed to be going downhill and fast. I get this when I read Thomas Jefferson, when I read Camus, when I read Vonnegut. I console myself with the remarkable advances in the sciences. I play a scientist on TV. I am in awe of those that do it for real. Testable, provable phenomena and the predictions they allow. They allowed me to drive to DC on a bus, type my speech on a screen, ride to this rally in a car, walk on shoes that support my feet, and wear clothes and a hat that protects my pale skin from the sun. To fly on a plane home. That plane I will get on exists and stays in the air because of a million large and tiny tested predictions about lift, drag, material performance, physics, electricity, radio waves, wear, tear, shear, checklists, human error, machine error, and redundancy. It is a miracle of engineering. It is the result of an ancient and very human drive, a drive that makes us what we are in all of our unique specialization, a drive to solve problems. Many tens of thousands of people combined their collective genius to make an impossibly fast and efficient, thin, inflated bubble of aluminum so stable and secure that you'd have to fly for several thousand years before the odds gave you an even chance of being in an accident. Everything that we have that makes our lives possible exists because human beings have tested the things they found in their surroundings, made predictions based on those tests, and then improved upon them. This is reason, the human capacity to make sense of the world. Here are some other things that, like the components of the airplane, have been tested and proven. I'm going to call them facts. E equals mc squared. Force equals mass times acceleration. The Earth is not the center of the universe. Man landed on the moon in 1969 and a few times thereafter. The Earth is spherical. Human industry is causing a significant rise in the Earth's overall temperature. The Earth is over 4 billion years old. Evolution is literally a fact of life. As Neil deGrasse Tyson says, facts are true whether or not you believe them. are some of my beliefs that are true to me. I believe that if we take care of our surroundings, they will take care of us. I believe that people have an inalienable right to choose what to do with their own bodies. I believe that in a community it is our duty that we should take care of each other in times of need. I believe that if you tell people the truth and let them make decisions based on that, much of the time they'll make pretty good decisions, but not always. I believe that that which is detestable to you, you should not do to another. I believe that while not all people are essentially good, most are trying. I believe that rules do not make us moral. Loving each other makes us moral. And finally, I have concluded through careful empirical analysis and much thought that somebody is looking out for me, keeping track of what I think about things, forgiving me when I do less than I ought, giving me strength to shoot for more than I think I'm capable of. I believe they know everything that I do and think, and they still love me, and I've concluded after careful consideration that this person keeping score is me.
Well, that was cool. Thank you, Bernice, for that. I had not seen that, actually. I had not heard that. So that was a cool compilation. And I like that at the end there. I was actually waiting for him to say God. He fooled me. And I'm glad he didn't. That person watching out for himself is him. I like that. That was good. You buy it all but the 69 landing, eh, Luke? So all the other landings? Just that first one, no. All right? I want to make sure I got you on that. What'd you think of that, Marcus?
About the moon landing or the video?
No, the video in general.
I like the video, and it was a good suggestion by Bernice.
It was.
And
nice.
the moon landing, okay, yeah. I don't buy the conspiracy.
No, you're not a Capricorn 7 guy.
I believe I may be more into other conspiracies, but not in this one.
Right. Yeah. I actually they proved that on MythBusters. Remember that?
Proved what?
That we had landed on the moon.
Okay.
Because
I don't know that.
Because when we were on the moon, they placed a mirror so that they could measure distance shit. And they fired a laser at the mirror. And so the MythBusters targeted it, and they shot a laser at the mirror. They got the signal back. They bounced back. They proved it would not bounce back had it not been a mirror there. There is a mirror on the moon, and it was not put there by aliens. So that's. But the funny thing about that, anybody that doesn't believe one way or the other, it's really doesn't matter whether we went to the moon or not at this point. We've got a planet to save. Exactly. If we want to go anywhere else, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so tell us, we're going to end. Thank you guys for being here. OJ played in Capricorn 7. Did he? Was he in that? That's hilarious. I just remember it was, who else was in that? That's an old movie. Damn. So, I am God, you are God, we are God. Yeah, nice, Phil. Nice. Thank you guys for being here. It's good. It's good. Good show. Sorry, there's a lot of heavy shit to go over with. So, Marcus, who is Left Field and Sleaford Mods and this song, Head and Shoulders? Tell us about it.
A very good question, John. And originally, I wanted to play another song by the Sleaford Mods, but we were not sure about the copyrights with YouTube, and we didn't want to risk any blocks or something like this. So I found another one, and it is with the Sleaford Mods and with Left Field. Left Field is a duo of producers who cooperated already with David Bowie and other guys like like John Lydon from the Sex Pistols, you may know them, Africa Bambaataa,
yep,
Stereo MCs, and even with David Bowie.
No?
And they brought out the song Head and Shoulders, and the Sleaford Mods, I have to mention, are a band, a duo in England, and they're coming from Nottingham. Isn't very angry about the political situation in Great Britain, and most of their songs show this very, very impressive in my opinion. And what I liked about the collaboration with Left Field is the video, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. It is new music. Maybe some of you won't like it that much, but I think you should enjoy the video because I like it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for opening our ears to some new sounds. For those of you like myself who are not familiar with Left Field and Sleaford Mods, and who are two separate individuals from what I understand. So, I mean, it's not one band called Left Field and Sleaford Mods.
No. Left Field is a duo of producers, and the Sleaford Mods is a duo which is into hip-hop, punk. They are described as being a new generation of punk music, which gives meaning to punk. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. So this is Head and Shoulders, which is a song about the British, complaining about the British government.
No, not exactly about the government. This is more the Sleaford Mods topics. It is about the situation in general. I think the video speaks for itself.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Marcus, for picking that song. Thank you, everybody, for volunteering your time and being here and keeping the conversation going. This is what we have to do to survive. And just remember, it's your life. I mean, sometimes you just got to stop and sit back. It's your life. Take care of it. Take care of you. And if you can, take care of others. That's what we're here for.